Hi everyone, welcome to Madeline Makes. My name is Madeline and I am coming at you today with a different style of video than our previous ones. We are still new to this platform, so we are just trying out some things, but let me know what you think about this style of video in the comments. Today I am making an orange blossom matcha latte with cardamom, honey, oat milk. Gosh, that sounds delicious just saying it again. This is one of those recipes that grabbed me from its beautiful photo and I just had to try it out. I will link the recipe in the description below if you want to check it out. I start by making the cardamom honey oat milk. First, I crush some whole cardamom pods to release some of the flavors while they steep in the milk. Whole spices are such a delight to cook with. There's something so beautiful to me about working with spices in their whole form. Spices have connected communities, cultures, and continents through trade for centuries. And I know that these spices that once took months to cross the world into other people's kitchens and were reserved for the upper classes of society are now things that I can just go to the store and get. It's something that I really try to remain appreciative of. Cardamom, for example, originates in the Indian subcontinent, and here I am purchasing it from my local grocery store in the southern United States. Whole spices bring an aroma and a flavor like no other, and I find myself using them primarily in the colder months for things like spiced wine or other warming recipes. So using whole cardamom now for a summery, refreshing drink was really unique for me, and I'm glad I gave it a try. I am using honey from a honeycomb here, and some of the comb is mixed up with the honey. It will dissolve as it heats up with the oat milk, and I'm also going to strain this mixture at the end, so there won't be any comb. Matcha is another ingredient that I revere. Matcha is a unique flavor with a deep, earthy grass tone. I love how grassy green tea tastes in general, but matcha is in a league of its own. It is very high in caffeine and it's full of health benefits, such as being really rich in antioxidants, and it's also shown to reduce the risk of heart disease. The matcha we know today was derived from tea leaves brought from China to Japan by a Buddhist monk in the 12th century. It was grown in Kyoto, Japan under specialized conditions, making it a luxurious status symbol. Matcha eventually became the center of the Japanese tea ceremony. Although still more expensive than most teas, modern matcha, similar to wine, has a large scope of quality, with the most expensive being purely ceremonial and very expensive. The one I am using today is simply a culinary grade matcha that I keep on hand for baking, and I purchased it on Amazon. Matcha is a unique tea and is also prepared in a unique way. It is whisked until frothy with a bamboo whisk. As a tea lover, I try to prepare tea in the way that is meant to be prepared. And while I'm fairly certain that a latte was not the original intent of matcha, I wanted to try to prepare it in its traditional way anyway. While I deeply enjoy the flavor of matcha, I most often enjoy it in baking. One of my favorite things to make is matcha macarons, but that is a recipe for another time. I usually don't enjoy matcha lattes simply because I find them too sweet. There are often attempts to mask the grassy tones that are certainly an acquired taste, but it's a flavor that I really enjoy. I chose this recipe because of the multitude of natural flavors. We have the earthiness from the matcha, the warming spice from the cardamom, the floral notes from the orange blossom, and the light sweetness from the oat milk and honey. Matcha is a flavor you don't want to challenge, but rather complement. And here is my supervisor, Celeste. She takes her job very seriously. I find that straight sugar, often used in lattes, can overpower matcha rather than complement it. I felt that the ingredients in this recipe would all work harmoniously together, rather than trying to overpower. Like I said before, I'm not really a latte person, so I was looking forward to trying this recipe out, and it was really good. The orange blossom could have been more pronounced, but it's a new ingredient to me, so I wanted to tread lightly. I tried adding more, but worried it would end up overpowering the whole drink. I've seen how these type of things can go down on those baking shows. Overall, this drink was refreshing and delicious. If I make it again, I would tweak it a little bit to bring out more of the floral notes of the orange blossom, and also more of the cardamom. I love spices. I'm a really big fan of chai, in which cardamom is a main ingredient. And I would have liked the spice to have been a bit more upfront in the drink. By the way, I did not mean for my outfit to match this drink so perfectly, but I felt like I was in one of those fancy commercials where the color scheme matches the product. So that's all I have for today. I hope you liked this video. I'm curious, is matcha a flavor you enjoy? Let me know in the comments. If you liked this video, give it a like, and if you want to see more, then subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next Madeline Makes.